So with that said, we've been talking about telling stories, engaging the senses. And ultimately what we're trying to get here are happy customers. Even better than that would be a customer that might even give us an awesome review. And do customers review your dealership before they call, before they come here?
Yes.
Do you guys review anything before you go to a restaurant or go to a department store? Does anybody look at these things?
Yeah. Yes.
Some of us? Not all of us?
Nope.
So that makes me curious. What do we have to do to receive an awesome review like one that I have up here? I'm going to read it out loud to y'all. This is probably from a millennial. And here it goes. Listen up, people. I just got a new Nissan Maxima from my good buddy Joe Stark at XYZ Nissan here in Dalton. I thought I knew all about this car from reading about it online. What I didn't know was that the cockpit was designed by the Blue Angels. How cool is that? I'm loving my new wheels. I feel like I can fly. Thanks, Joe. You the man. So once again, it's probably from a younger customer. But that leaves me wondering, what do we have to do to inspire great feedback?
I think sometimes it's taking a little more time, really getting to know the person, because I just had a Google review and a Dealer Rater review from the same person, and they mentioned of all three of the people that they really dealt with during their sales experience by name. But I talked to her on the phone for quite a bit. She also gave us a perfect score on our survey, and she came by here earlier. But
I think we can all agree here. What you both said is very, very true. And to go off of your point and to add kind of like the icing on the cake, as we mentioned about 2 hours ago, another way that we can even guarantee that is, once again, by telling these powerful stories about our vehicle, how it brings that vehicle to life. Also about engaging their sense of sight, sound, touch, smell. So these things are proven to help make that customer a repeat customer, improve sales, referrals, all those things that we mentioned are so important. So I want to do a little practice here. I want to hear about how you're going to put all this stuff together from what we learned today about stories, about engaging the senses. We all realize how important it is to differentiate this process, to connect to them emotionally, in a human element. All those things are important. So I'm going to give you some time to practice that. If you look on page 13, I want you guys to start thinking, what do you have to do to get a review like that? So the first thing I want you to think about is maybe pick a vehicle that you feel you might have some stories about, or a vehicle that you know, hey, I can I have some ideas on how to engage the senses with that specific car. So pick me a vehicle, that's number one. And then I want you to do one of two things or both. I want you to maybe think of a story that you can go ahead and mention to your guests about that vehicle. That once again will bring to life the design, the craftsmanship, the inspiration for that model. And then below, what kind of things would you point out? What features, technology, what parts of that vehicle would you maybe point out to engage the senses when you're talking about it? So to kind of sum that up, think of a car, think of a story, and think of how you can engage the senses. If you can't do all three things, then at least pick a car and think of a story or the senses on how you would appeal to them, or maybe do all three. But I want to give you at least like a good 5 minutes here, at least, for you all to start kind of putting all this material together and coming up with your own little story on how you get that awesome review that we're all shooting for. What do you have to do?